Eltahale is obviously another Jandar figure here. And she gets some pretty good stats. So she gets 6 life, which is a little above normal, 6 move, which is a little higher than normal, 1 range because of the blade, 5 attack, which is very good, 4 defense, which is a little higher than normal again, and 140 points, which makes pretty good sense with all that. She's a Goliath, a unique hero, a warden, fearless, and medium 5. And then she has a couple of powers here. So they got a lot of wording, so bear with me. Mm-hmm. It's Thunder Ram Assault Special Attack. So it's range 1 plus special. Attack 4. Choose a figure to attack. You may also choose up to 2 other figures within 2 clear sight spaces of the targeted figure to be affected by Thunder Ram Assault Special Attack. Roll attack dice once for all affected figures. Each figure rolls defense dice separately. You can only use Thunder Ram Assault Special Attack if Eltahale was not adjacent to the targeted figure at the start of the turn. You cannot use Thunder Ram Assault Special Attack if you use Thunder Step this turn. And now Thunder Step. Thunder Step, instead of moving Eltahale normally, you may choose an opponent figure within 5 clear sight spaces of Eltahale. Place Eltahale on an empty space adjacent to the chosen figure. For the duration of Eltahale's turn, add 1 to her attack value. At the end of her turn, roll 1 attack die. If a skull is rolled, place 1 wound marker on her card. If Eltahale is engaged, when she starts Thunder Step, she will not take any leaving engagement attacks. And being like
Wizards,
wow.
I know Wizards of the Coast designed this because the entire card is filled with text.
Yeah. I was just gonna say 5 clear sight spaces. She could also like Thunder Step upward, not just like same level. So it's a pretty good movement ability.
Yeah, that's.
But if you want to add on the rest, since it's not right here in front of me, right. You can add on.
Yeah, sure. No, I just commenting on that. She seems like a tank, really.
Oh yeah.
A very, very solid tank. I mean, you got high attack, moves pretty good, 6 life, pretty okay defense of 4 at 140 points. That's pretty impressive.
One of the important things too with Thunder Ram is she can hit multiple figures instead of just one at a time, because then you can get swarmed by commons.
So an area,
but she can hit up to 3.
Yeah, area of effect attack. Then when it comes to that's you don't have too much of those. You could possibly strike, you know what I mean? But when it comes to like a medium 5 figure, they tend not to have that. Usually you have area of effect with like dragons or other bigger creatures, but with like a medium 5 mini or medium 5 unit, not too much. Melman Studio says gain height fast. Yeah,
that's one thing with the D&D figures is they actually made some heroes that were like a little bit of a notch up. Instead of just having one hero that does 1 attack on people, they have a lot of different heroes that can attack several different figures a turn, which actually kind of gives them a better chance.
And what's her delta point cost?
Good question. She is 145. One goes up 5 points.
So not that much of a difference. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. Well, let me read the lore then. I can cover for that. Character bio from Truth. It says when we start discussing. Okay, wait a minute. This is just information, so I don't know if this is going to actually apply or not. But I'll just read it anyway. When we start discussing a new wave, we bounce ideas on certain figures we'd like to see back and forth with Peter Lee, the designer we work with at Wizards of the Coast. Speak of the Devils. When Pete initially presented his vision for D3, there were some really exciting sculpts, but also some of the 3 of us really didn't care for. There were too many bad guys to begin with. We could have forced some units into the Allied generals to give the wave a sense of balance, but we had some different ideas. Over the next few days, Pete introduced some of this is written wrong. Introduced to 3 brand new figures that we could add to this wave. They are previously sculpted, but were never released. The best part was they fit perfectly into the design ideas that we were discussing. They had awesome poses, they were exciting figures, and they looked really great as Heroscape figures. Eltahale is the first of 3 new sculpts in this wave, and I can't say enough great things about her. Not only is she an awesome attack pose mid-parrying attack, but every piece of exposed skin on the figure has intricate markings on it. We bounced a few power ideas back and forth when we started designing her. Originally, we had variations on Warden's Fury and Triumphant Vigor, but after some discussion, we finally landed on Eltahale being a master of thunder damage. She has 2 new powers, Thunder Ram and Assault Special Attack and Thunder Step. You need to carefully plan which power you want to use on your turn with Eltahale. You can't use both in one turn, even though Thunder Step is a very powerful power. Powerful power, say that 2 times fast. And can't turn the tide of the battle quickly. You run the risk of overextending her. So yeah, it's just some designer notes basically on that.
When it says a new sculpt, does it mean not released in Dungeons and Dragons?
You know, it's because it's interesting way of putting it. Now, I don't know about this particular sculpt of Eltahale. If it's in D&D or if there's similar sculpt like that or the same type of sculpt that you can get from D&D, because I know most of the D&D scape stuff you can, one way or another. So I don't know about this one specifically though, because I do have Eltahale in my collection, so I never needed to get an alternate sculpt or a D&D similar sculpt. So anybody knows, feel free to answer that question. Now, when it comes to combinations and synergies, she ain't with nobody. 0. There ain't nothing that synergizes with her. She is a tank unto herself. And then we have the tier list, which says, let's see here, Eltahale, she's pretty neat and has a cool attack, B+. OEAO says A-, so A-, B+, so basically a overall, and Cleon has her on tier 8, and as only Cleon understands that tier. So yeah, I mean, I would probably agree with that. Eltahale seems like a pretty solid unit. If you just wanted, if you wanted a very expensive filler.
Well, like sometimes there's tournaments where they just got all the figures sitting on the side and everybody's got to pick and choose. Sure. And then she's always a pretty decent option, at least.
Say so.
Yeah,
she's
for like drafting.
Yeah, drafting.
Yeah, she's solid against like range. She's still pretty good against melee too. So it's like she doesn't really have a lot of weaknesses.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only minus for her is the fact that she doesn't have synergies, and she really doesn't have range. I mean, she does have range, but not really. She's not like where, you know, she's like Sylvaris that can gain the whole field.
Right.
But she can tank those range shots though.
Yeah, but so besides that, very
and jump at him.
She's great.
Yeah, very effective.
I know she's a warden, so that's kind of funny just because Zenithrax is a warden now too. So I mean, I don't know of many wardens in the game, but it'd be cool if they maybe did something later with that, and then maybe she'd get a little boost.
That would
I
be
was
fun if
I was saying if they had
up.
maybe like a Kyrie common that would be like guards for like a prison, and they would bond with wardens. And then you can bring that into it, because a lot of different characters don't really bond with their class or their I guess job. No, their class. So it's usually like their race or their Valkyrie general or stuff like that. So that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I like to acquire her. I'm actually like, I know with most of like the Wizards D&D stuff, it's usually kind of pricey. I'm not sure about this one because, of course, I didn't look it up. But let me just check.
I mean, All Things has it for $25
so
essentially.
relatively easy to acquire them. Looks like.
Yeah.
Fairly. Okay.
But
There's
also a
few
really good
cheap
unit
ones
for
on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is there? Yeah.
$17.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah. So it's a solid unit, but
Oh, that's an auction. My bad.
But
okay.
besides like drafting, I can see why when it comes to competitive, since she doesn't synergize with too many armies, why she's probably not used. Still a bit expensive in the points wise, so it's just like there might be other options available. Although, really, it would be interesting to see someone use her competitively if you can find an army build, because I'm sure there's ways to do it. Because
I think most of the time it's like the tournaments that have the pool of figures to choose from, where you pick her and a lot of the random heroes from like Utgar, a lot of those weird giant figures that don't go with anybody, like Shirak. Sure. Like usually they get picked from like a pool if you see them at all.
For sure.
Yeah, but otherwise, a really good pick for Heroscape Adventure. So
actually,
keep that in mind.
That is a thought. Yeah. Someone needs to develop a voice now. That would not be me. I don't think I could do an Eltahale voice. That definitely would not be.
Get a really tall female, muscular.
Get James Earl Jones. R.I.P.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. All right. Well, okay. I guess I can just end it then. So that's taking a look at Eltahale. If you want to get it for your Heroscape collection, it seems just like something fun. And this is another thing to say. It would probably be just a really fun one to play in casual play. It seems like it would be. To where it's like, okay, you get yourself like sometimes I like to do this to where you match up like say a 300 to 400 point army against something that is like solid but just relatively smaller in points, just to see what happens, just to see who would survive or who would get the most benefit. So
throw zombies, throw Maro drones, and just see what kind of damage you can do.
A free-for-all is always fun too. It doesn't matter what you pick, because whoever's doing better, people are going to team up against them. So if you pick figures that are just fun like this one, and you're getting your butt kicked a little bit, someone will probably join in and help you a little bit. So that's always a fun time to use figures like this.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so that's taking a look at Eltahale consideration for your Heroscape collection.